Welcome to a bonus episode of This Is Fine. We're doing a little mini-sode on the fly today because I was just struck with the idea and had some stuff I wanted to share with you, so welcome. In late December and early January on TikTok, a bunch of people were making their ins and outs for 2023, myself included, and though this was a very personal list for me, just to simply reflect on my own things and maybe share with some friends via text, it also resonated with some people on the internet, so I decided to make it into our bonus episode today for all of you. Without further ado, Dominique's in/out list for 2023. What's in and what's out? In. First up is ease. This is my word for 2023. I think things have just been so hard in general in the world, and I would like things to be a lot more easeful, easier. I just want to invite in ease, and if that resonates for you, ease is in for 2023. Number 2 is getting out of the house. If you're anything like me, you get into a little work rut or just a brain rut and you are in the house way too much. Sometimes you just need to jumper cable your brain and get out for a walk or a drive or whatever it is, run an errand that you maybe don't even need to run, just get out of the house. Number 3 is making an in/out list. This is very popular, doesn't have to be January, but I think it would be cool to reflect on things that you think that you want to invite in and things that you want to release. This is just a good practice in general. You guys remember Olivia from episode 10, my BFF, who could forget the poop pancake story? I put her onto this as well, and she's in the process of making her own in and out list. And you don't have to share it with anyone, just think about it. Next up is all pink everything. Was this ever out? I don't think so. It's been my entire personality since the 90s, so all pink everything is currently in for me now and forever. Next is buying yourself nice jewelry. Why wait for someone else to do it? You know your own taste better than anyone else, and honestly, you deserve it. Get yourself something nice. If you remember my gift guide, and I told everyone that if I got a bonus or signed a new client or survived the recession, I was going to get myself this pink sapphire ring. Well, it went on sale, so what was I going to do, not buy it? Next is embracing a theme for non-themed events. This is a personal choice, but I think it's in. I think if you're invited to something that doesn't have a theme, pick a theme for yourself, dress accordingly. Next is delusional confidence. If you have been on TikTok for more than 30 seconds, you've probably seen this 100,000 times. Delusional confidence. Just go around the world as if you are on top of the world. You are the queen, the king, the whatever. You are ruling everything. Delusional confidence. Just fake it till you make it. Feel the vibes. Next is sumo mandarins. If I can find them, they are my favorite. Big thanks to Remy from episode 8 for putting me onto these. They are like elevated oranges. I don't know how else to describe it, but if you like citrus, sumo mandarins are in season right now. Go get yourself some. Next is breakfast breaks. This is like a lunch break, but we're doing it for breakfast. We're taking a little bit of time out to pause, slow down, digest, eat a meal, and not rush through the morning. That's kind of the theme. We're not rushing. Next in for 2023 is a fragrance wardrobe. I personally have been adhering to this for a while, but I like having a wardrobe of fragrances to fit different moods, different days, different events. You all know that I am obsessed with fragrance in general, whether that's a nice scented candle or a soap or a perfume itself. So the fragrance wardrobe really makes sense for me. I'm obviously really into perfume, and you could be too. Next is making your personality your aesthetic. So instead of following one of these niche trends, like I'm going to be a pink Pilates princess, or I'm going to be like a witchy niche girl, or I'm going to be a coastal grandmother. You're you. Your personality is the aesthetic. So your personality might be a combination of all of those things like mine. Make your aesthetic simply about you and everything you embody, and I think that is timeless. Next is the chocolate and red fruit flavor combo. This is truly an elite pairing, and I was reminded when I was at Italy over the holidays with my family, I had this Amarena gelato, which was like sweet milk flavored gelato with dark chocolate and Amarena cherries, and it really sent me over the edge. It was so delicious, and now I want everything to be chocolate with red fruit. The next in for 2023 is quarterly vision boards. I always have a yearly vision board, but I think it's really cool to do a quarterly one. Not because it aligns with quarters of business and capitalism, but just to have a check-in a few times a year. What do I want for the next couple months, few months, whatever. I think it's nice. The next one might be controversial, but one of my favorites is saying fuck it with your hands cupped around your mouth. I don't know, I feel like it's really liberating. Next is canned drinks over alcohol. Alcohol gives you hangovers, canned drinks do not. If you haven't tried them, I don't know if I'm going to get flagged by the streaming platforms for saying this, but it's CANN and it is a cannabis beverage. It's honestly mellower than a glass of wine. It's just relaxing. It doesn't get you like toasty high. And I don't know, I just think everyone needs to try it. Next is pretending you're hungover or sick for a day. Sometimes we just need those days of relaxation and, binging Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings, being in our pajamas, eating cereal and drinking ginger ale, whatever it is that like gives you that comfort without being sick. Like, why do we only do those things for ourselves and give ourselves rest like that when we don't feel well? Like, let's practice doing that when we do feel well. So give yourself a fake sick day. It'll be really nice. Another controversial one is regular milk. I don't know. I think regular dairy is back in. I'm kind of over like creamy oat water. Next is going sporadically off the grid whenever you feel like it. Just disappear for a little bit. Who cares? Up next is choosing your adventure. I really think that autonomy is cute and in for 2023, and choosing your adventure just really goes with it. Next is laying on the floor with your dog. If you haven't tried it, it really is empowering. Just like get down on the ground, lay with them. They're confused, but they love it. Next is Campari soda. I think it's in for 2023. This is a non-alcoholic beverage. And if you're into the idea of like an Aperol spritz, but you're like, oh, I can't really day drink, like it gives me a headache, whatever your reasons are, like try Campari soda. It's bitter orange and like you probably won't like it. But if you're like me and you have very specific tastes, like you could be into it too. Next in for 2023 is polyglottism, which is speaking more than one language. I think speaking one language is super out. We'll get to that later, but pick up a new language this year. You can do it. Next one I feel very strongly about in for 2023 is salads with less than 10% leaves. This means you want more accoutrements, right? Like you want the heartier vegetables. Like give me some cucumber and tomato and olives and artichoke hearts. Like I don't want leaves. No. Next is breaking ancestral traumas. Like this has probably been in for a while, but I really want to focus on it this year, and you can too. One of my favorite ins for 2023 is whimsy. Just adopt the spirit of whimsy this year. Add whimsy to your everyday actions. Next is 9 hours of sleep. No explanation needed, just 9 hours of sleep. We're almost at the end. The next in for 2023 is using your resources. You probably have more than you think, and resources don't just imply money. You have resources. Let's be more resourceful this year. And lastly, making your entire house into a smart home so your Alexa or robot servant handles everything. Now for the outs. What's out for 2023? The out lists inherently piss people off and hurt feelings, so I don't want this to hurt your feelings. This is just for me, and if it resonates with you, cool. And if something on this list makes you mad, then just turn this off. Out, raw onions. I'm over them. They give me migraines. Raw onions are dead to me. DoorDash fees. I am so overpaying so much extra for food takeout and delivery. I'm done. We're cutting out the DoorDash fees. Societal benchmarks and timelines. This has been over for a while, but I'm officially ushering it out the door for 2023. Blisters. They're out. No explanation needed. Doing the most. That's been a hallmark of my personality for a really long time. Just doing the most all the time. Do the most when you want to, but give yourself a little bit of slack this year if you're, adhering to my program. Next out is feeling individually responsible for global problems beyond your control. Let's just release that. If you're on this journey with me, that's such a bummer and there's nothing we can do about it, and it just adds too much stress to our mental health. So we're done. Keeping in theme, hangovers are out for 2023. Being scared of ingredients is another one I feel passionately about. I'm so over being afraid of everything, including our food. And yes, there's a lot of stuff that is not good for us, but I think the fear for me right now is more toxic than the ingredients itself. Rushing, you probably picked up on this already, but rushing is very out for 2023. Rushing is so 2022. Honestly, rushing is 2018 in my mind. And I would love things to be a little bit slower. Maybe this is just me entering my slow girl era. Who knows? Being a dickhead is also out for 2023. So if you were planning on being a dickhead this year, don't. Copying other people's routines, outfits, products, etc., without thinking about it The key here is being deliberate. Like, you're totally allowed to be inspired and like maybe copy someone's outfit, but be intentional, be deliberate. Why are you copying? Does it speak to your soul in a certain way? Or are you just trying to keep up with a trend? Or are you being sucked into consumerism that's not good for your finances or your mental health? Be intentional. Also out, homeownership. I'm not trying it this year. Also out, trying to please everyone. People pleasing, it's a thing of the past. Another out for 2023, you probably guessed it, only speaking one language. We are over this. Out, feeling overwhelmed. Who wants to feel overwhelmed? I feel like I'm overwhelmed a lot, and I don't want to be in 2023. Watching TV without subtitles, grow up, just put the subtitles on. Overbooking your calendar. This is another thing that's very passé to me. Just putting too many things on the calendar. It adds to the overwhelm. It adds to the rushing. It's all part of a theme. Protein powder. I am done pretending that I like it or I want to try it, or I like protein shakes, or I'm going to make a protein shake. Protein powder is not it for me. Protein powder is out. Being a hater is out for 2023, and the irony is that this entire list is kind of hating on things, but you know, being a hater in general. I want to welcome more positivity in 2023, so being a hater is out. Also on the theme, obsessing over work is out. Making my job my personality is no longer a thing. Also out is leaf-dominant salads. We reviewed this in What's In for 2023, but this is decidedly out. If there is more than 10% of the salad made up of leaves, like we're talking a 25% leaf salad, it's cutting it too close. I don't want many leaves in the salad, and I don't think you need them either. Judging other people. One of my biggest things that I keep reminding myself when I do feel judgmental is the things that you judge in other people are usually things that you don't like about yourself or things that you're insecure about. So when you're judging someone, maybe just use it as a marker to do some self-reflection if you're feeling, evolved. Driving instead of walking when it's under 2 miles away is out for 2023. Californians in particular, I know you are like this. We drive everywhere, even across a parking lot. Just walk. Let's move more. We got to walk and move and get outside a little bit more. Health insurance, you're out. You have never served me. Actually, I say that now, and I made this list weeks ago, and I had like a health insurance victory today, but still. Health insurance, you're out. And lastly is almond butter. Almond butter was never peanut butter to me, and like protein powder, I've been pretending this whole time. All right, that's the ins and outs. If any of that hurt your feelings, again, please just move on. This is not personal. But if anything resonated with you, congratulations. We have a lot in common. These are my ins and outs for 2023. I would love to hear yours. Send us an email at imfine@thisisfinepodcast.com. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/thisisfinepodcast. And you can always slide into my DMs on Instagram or TikTok. I'm more on TikTok these days, so higher chance of getting to me on those. All right, I love you guys so much. I hope you're having a great week, and I will see you at the next episode. A bientôt. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of This Is Fine. I've been your host, Dominique Michelle Astorino. We're based in San Diego, recording in studio at DLI Productions in Pacific Beach with Emmy Award-winning sound designer Dan De La Isla. This is a comedy and advice podcast, but for legal reasons, this entire podcast is a joke and none of it is medical advice. To download the transcript or learn more, visit thisisfinepodcast.com.